Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today. And today we're doing something a little bit different from the usual F1 2019 career mode content. Today we're looking at F1 2019 career mode driver transfers, and specifically we're looking at your driver transfers, the craziest ones that you've had in the game. I tweeted out earlier today, let me know, screenshot it, let me know your craziest driver moves, and we're just going to look through and react at the craziest driver transfers we've seen, because I have seen a fair few since the game launch, and so I was very curious to see now, after a week, how, people getting through seasons 1, maybe even 2, people simulating through seasons. What are the craziest transfers we've seen so far, and all from you guys. So I'll also try to get you guys involved. So we'll start off pretty timid driver move. We've got Sergio Perez moving to Toro Rosso, Albon being let go, and then Fiat gets signed by Racing Point to replace Perez. So I'm assuming at this point the player is in Toro Rosso, and then Albon just gets mugged off basically. Perez moves to Toro Rosso, Fiat goes the other way essentially, and he gets mugged off. So first bit of that's a common pattern actually with these driver transfers, that a lot of the times they're just drivers that get completely booted out and don't even get to race, because obviously you have to be in a team. Sometimes the driver transfers don't affect your team, the one you're in, a la the one I had, which was Racing Points, Perez and Renault's Hulkenberg. But if they do affect your team, sometimes your teammate or ex-teammate can pretty much be left in the dust in terms of them even being on the grid anymore. But we scroll down merely to the second reply, and this is where the madness becomes, because we've got Sebastian Vettel back in the Red Bull racing car. Look at that German white helmet with the German flag, number 5 back on the Red Bull car. Obviously we didn't even see number 5 on the Red Bull that often, because when Seb was back in Red Bull before, he always used number 1. So 5 on the Red Bull, that looks really odd, I gotta say. It just feels off now seeing Vettel's helmet in a Red Bull, because I've gone so used to being a Ferrari. And then we've got Kimi Räikkönen in the Williams car, which is even weirder really. A Kimi to Williams, never really a move you'd ever really see coming. Then we've got an even crazier one here. We've got Max Verstappen moving to Haas, and Grosjean letting him go, and then Giovinazzi gets signed to Red Bull to replace Verstappen. This is my driver transfer right here. Giovinazzi to Red Bull. Sorry, are we watching my driver season? What was it? Season 6 or 5 or whatever it was. But Verstappen moving to Haas as well. Okay, hang on, that's a bit baffling. Like, did Verstappen get suckered in to the whole rich energy is better than Red Bull hype, and he's signed for Haas? I mean, that seems like a bit of a backwards move, but I don't know what season this is. This might be, season 2. And we have been told that as you go through the seasons, the top drivers might move down the order, actually. You might see other younger drivers moving up the pecking order, a la Giovinazzi moving up to the Red Bull car. So that's a pretty damn tasty sign, to be fair, the second one, Giovinazzi Red Bull. First one, a little bit more bonkers, and a bit crazy to see Verstappen and Haas. That would also be really weird visually to see him in Haas overalls, but there we go. We're now going to move on to a 4-season simulation, and we've got Kimi Räikkönen winning the Drivers' Championship here in a Red Bull car, that is. That's a pretty cool screenshot there. We've got a whole load of transfers at the end of one of these seasons of Season 4. Hamilton moving to Alfa Romeo to replace Räikkönen. Giovinazzi then signs to Alfa Romeo to replace Weber, so I guess he wasn't at Alfa Romeo the previous season. Magnussen moves to Mercedes to replace Hamilton. We've got the person who's tweeting me saying he's moved to Red Bull, replacing Magnussen. Norris is moving to Toro Rosso to replace the seat he vacated at Toro Rosso. Räikkönen moved to Williams. Russell's been let go. Perez moved to Williams to replace Norris, and Weber's moving to Racing Point to replace... I've lost track of this. You guys thought F1 My Driver season started off with some hectic moves. This is a scrolling page of moves. Are there even more moves to go through? I think there might be. Here we go. Hamilton moving to Red Bull to replace Leclerc. Leclerc moving to Mercedes to replace Magnussen. Magnussen moving to Racing Point to replace Stroll. Stroll to Toro Rosso. Albon let go. Fiat signed to Alfa Romeo to replace Hamilton. That's just bonkers, man. That's Hamilton, the Red Bull, Leclerc and the Mercedes. That's just insane. That's insane. You've got the top guys and also the new starlets of Formula 1 coming through, replacing each other basically. And this is apparently done in 4 seasons. So that's pretty mad. That means that's down the line, 4 seasons could get pretty damn tasty in terms of your grid lineup. This is also another common theme. We've got Devin Butler actually moving to your team. Or Weber moving to your team. So that's going to be interesting to see F2 rivals move to the team you're in, because then obviously if you you have Devin Butler move in, who obviously we all know he's an absolute dickhead, basically. If he moves there, that's going to make things very awkward. I've even seen, pictures of, you get emails saying that Devin's emailed you, and he basically sounds like an arse in the emails he sent you. So you've asked me to keep an ear out for news on Devin. I'm hearing that McLaren are very interested at the moment. Don't know if he's actually pushing for negotiations, but he's coming up with a long conversation in the office. So I'm guessing this person was at McLaren, and yeah, he's going to become his teammate next race in Japan. He's transferred to my team. So yeah, that would be very awkward. We've got Ricciardo to Red Bull to replace Gasly, and Gasly moving to Renault to Red. That's quite a relevant one for real life, of course, because that's quite funny how that's worked out, because obviously it was kind of the other way around. Ricciardo moved to Renault, Gasly replaced Ricciardo at Red Bull. Not that he was at Renault before, of course, but that's quite topical in terms of obviously Gasly's had a tough time as of late, hasn't he? And Ricciardo's been doing pretty damn well on the Renault. And so if you ever saw a move like that where they swap back, that would be a madness. Tail between the legs, I think it would be for Ricciardo in terms of to go back to Red Bull. Ever we've got, what's this transfer now? We've got Gasly signed to Racing Point to replace Perez. Perez moves to Haas. Grosjean gets let go. That looks so odd. That looks so odd. Seeing that Red Bull helmet, Gasly number 10 in a Racing Point car. I feel like there's always on the grid, there are racing drivers and helmets that match their teams very nicely. This isn't one of them. This is not it. We've got Vettel moving to Red Bull to replace Verstappen, and Verstappen moving to Ferrari to replace Vettel. That is a tasty one. That is tasty. Seeing Verstappen in a Ferrari car, and obviously, like we already saw before, Vettel back in a Red Bull is a bit of a weird sight anyway, but Verstappen back in a Ferrari would be a very tasty prospect, I think. That would be the kind of, that would be kind of the double sword in terms of having the Tifosi fans and then the Dutch fans all kind of mixing together. You have a sea of red and orange. I don't know, would they mix together? I feel like they just do a checkerboard of red and orange at grandstands then, probably. Or they do orange flags, red t-shirts on at the GPs. Got a weird change of Hulkenberg. So Raikkonen moves to Renault. That's a very odd one, actually. Raikkonen in a yellow Renault car to replace Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg goes to Alfa Romeo then. So obviously for me, that'll be him replacing my teammate. We've got another one here. We've got what the... What? Okay, this is Season 2, Round 6. Carlos Sainz in a Ferrari alongside Vettel. We've got, I think this person, Christopher's in the Williams, the person who's tweeted me, he's in a Williams. What else have we got here? Sergio Perez in a McLaren, Giovinazzi again in a Red Bull. Too many My Driver vibes going on here. Weber in the Alfa Romeo, Butler in the Racing Point car, Leclerc in the McLaren. Of course, he had to go somewhere there, so he just swapped positions with Sainz, basically. Bottas, Merck, Raikkonen still Alfa, Fiat and the Racing Point car. That's a very mixed up one, actually. Carlos Sainz also leading the championship, we would see here in this one in the Ferrari car. Very, very odd. Got someone saying daddy issues here. We've got Hulkenberg signed to Haas to replace Weber, and then Weber moves to Racing Point, and Stroll just gets let go. So that's when the money runs out, unfortunately, for him in the game. We've got Ricciardo to Haas. Grosjean let go. Grosjean's been let go a lot of times so far in all these tweets. Fiat being signed to Renault to replace Ricciardo. That's a bit of an odd one here. What we've got here, we've got a few different ones here. Hamilton to Ferrari to replace Vettel. That's the tasty one. Vettel then moves to Red Bull to replace Verstappen. Verstappen goes to Mercedes to replace Hamilton. And then Perez moves to Haas, replacing Magnussen. Magnussen goes the other way to Racing Point and replaces that. This might be the most realistic and the most believable one you could think of, actually, to be honest, because you could see somewhere, obviously there's contracts locked down, but we know that Mercedes maybe have flirted with the idea of having Verstappen in their team. We know that at some point maybe there has been flirtations of the idea of Hamilton going to Ferrari, and Vettel going to Red Bull is a good feel return for him. So those three doing a checkerboard like that's a pretty realistic move, I would say, and that's a pretty cool one actually to get. It looks like, I don't know what season this is. I would guess probably season 2. I'm assuming with these multiple ones, because obviously I'm only in season 1. I've only got 2 swaps here, but it seems like a lot of you guys are getting through the seasons basically and seeing plenty of swaps here. We've had, oh no, look at this, season 1, round 9, Austria. This man got very lucky. Vettel to Mercedes and Bottas to Ferrari. He got Vettel and Hamilton in the same team, season 1. That's correct. You guys have been getting some mad luck. I feel like I've got shafted with my driver transfer now, my actual career mode. Sainz to Racing Point, that's a bit more of a timid one. Perez to McLaren, Norris being let go. Oh, we've actually got some driver pictures here now. Lance Stroll in the Alfa Romeo car, Magnussen, Toro Rosso, Raikkonen, Williams. We've got that doesn't look right. Hulkenberg in the McLaren, that does not look right at all. Lando Norris in the Williams car. We've got, that really does not suit Leclerc. Leclerc in the Red Bull car, in the Red Bull overalls there. We've got Vettel in the red. Ooh, that's a tasty lineup. Leclerc and Vettel in the same team, but in red. So basically, they just both jumped ship at Ferrari. I love that. They both just jumped ship Ferrari and went to Red Bull. Like, Vettel went to Red Bull, just went, hey, Leclerc, just follow me over to Red Bull. The grass is going to be greener over here. And then Verstappen in Ferrari, that looks odd. That's just not right. That's just not right. That shouldn't be happening. And here we've got some high def pictures here, some transfers. We've got Ricciardo in the Racing Point car, which does suit because of his helmet, actually, to be fair. And then we've got Gasly in the Renault, which is also one of the other swaps we had of Ricciardo and Gasly swapping the other way. That kind of works, actually, to be fair. Number 10 on the Renault looks pretty good, actually. We've got a load of ones here. Lance Stroll, Red Bull. What? Lance Stroll goes to Red Bull. Then I'm assuming this is, Kieran is the one tweeting me here. So Kieran was at Red Bull. Then he moved to Renault to replace Stroll. Hulkenberg moved to Haas. Grosjean moved to Racing Point, and then Russell moved to McLaren to replace Norris there. But Stroll to Red Bull, that's a bit of a baffling one, bit of a weird one you never really see. Perez to Renault, Ricciardo being let go. So Ricciardo gets punted off there on the grid for that one. Have we got any more? Weber to Renault to replace Hulkenberg. So that's pretty cool. F2 driver forcing out other drivers there. And now we come to the last one. This one's a video here. I think he's going to scroll through, but we can probably just guess here from it. I know, Kvyat to Alfa Romeo on that one scroll, but Ricciardo to Red Bull to race Gasly. Gasly moves to Renault, so a common theme there. Grosjean moves to McLaren, bit of a weird one. Sainz being let go. Perez to Haas. Grosjean then is... Where's Grosjean going to go? Grosjean, did he move anywhere? Yeah, Grosjean... sorry, my bad. Grosjean moved to McLaren, and then Butler moved to Racing Point to replace Perez. But... so some very, very odd transfers here. So I appreciate everyone tweeting me for this video. But the weirdest one, I gotta admit, not the weirdest one actually, the one that's kind of making the most sense to me is the most impressive transfer is, I gotta say, this one. The one I mentioned about Hamilton to Ferrari, Vettel to Red Bull, Verstappen to Merc. That is a very cool one to see. Like some of the top 3 drivers moving like that. That's very, very cool to see. But that is going to be the kind of shorter video for today. If you haven't maybe noticed, my voice is a little bit raspy because I have been away on a week's holiday, so that's why also the last few videos I haven't been interacting with the comments as much and whatnot, so I apologize for that, but I'm back from that week holiday now, so all the videos you've been seeing have all been scheduled, and whilst they were going up, I was probably, I can't lie, somewhere, trying to just avoid death, basically, on holiday, and obviously I didn't succeed because I've come back with this horrendous cough, but I did a community post actually earlier today saying that from now on there will be a bit more variety in the content, not just career mode every single day now that I am back from that holiday, guys. But that's also why there's a bit of a shorter video today, because I literally just came back literally very late last night, so I still need to try and recover and get some things going for the career mode and get my bearings again with the career mode, because it's also been like a week since I've driven the Alfa Romeo racing car. But if you guys did enjoy this kind of different video reacting to your guys' transfers, hopefully those of you who made it to the video found it quite cool to see yourselves on screen here in the video and kind of showcase your driver transfers and your career mode save. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here to subscribe for weekly full-on content, I've been aarava. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.